In this video, we're going to be taking this Smith & Wesson model M&P 15-22. It comes with the pin stock and, of course, no flash hider on it. What we're going to do to this unit is we're going to replace the pistol grip with an FRS 15 stock, and we're going to do some modifications to the buffer tube to make our buffer tube cover fit. The M&P 15 is unique because it does not have a separate buffer tube, and it does not have a castle nut or any kind of sub-assembly like a standard AR-15 has. The first thing we want to do, of course, is we want to make sure that the firearm is safe. The magazine is removed, action is clear, and we want to remove the upper receiver assembly and set it aside. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is we want to remove the pistol grip. And what you need for that is a 3/16 Allen wrench. And you want to hold this pistol grip to the lower receiver. You don't want it to flop around because there are two loaded springs inside the handle, inside the grip, and you want to make sure that they don't get kinked. Okay. So when you remove a pistol grip from an AR-15, any type of AR-15, you never want to take the grip away at any kind of angle backwards or downwards. You want it to come straight out this way so that you don't kink the springs. And as you can see, as I'm pulling this away, you can see there's two springs in there. They're color coded, which is pretty cool. The silver spring is your safety detent spring. The black spring is your takedown pin detent spring. So if you pick up the lower receiver, you give it a little jolt, you'll see the two little pins that are inside there. The small gold one goes with the black spring, and the black one goes with the silver spring. So take all those parts, set them aside. Your takedown pin comes out and your safety selector comes out. Alright, next we're going to take care of getting this pin stock off of here. You'd think it was a daunting task, but it's actually pretty simple. You need three things. You need a 1/16 inch drill, an 1/8 inch drill bit, and an 8-penny nail is all it takes to get this thing off of here. So what you want to do is you want to take your drill with a 1/16 inch drill bit. This is a roll pin, so it's got a hole right down the center of it. You can see right there. Take your 1/16 inch drill bit and drill right through the middle of that pin. Until it comes out the far side. What that's going to do is that's going to give you a guide hole for you to use the larger drill bit. Come in from the other side and drill that hole out. I've already drilled the hole, so you won't see any chips fly here. But you drill this hole out, and you'll feel when the drill bit hits that metal pin on the back side. Once you're there, just take your 8-penny nail, and you can push it on the table, or you can use a hammer. And just push that pin right out of there. And there you go. One gone pin. Alright, all you have to do now is just pull the lever all the way up, as high as you can get it, and slide the stock off and discard it. Alright, so we're ready to start our reassembly. What we have here is the M&P 15-22 adapter kit and our FRS 15 rifle stock and buffer tube cover. The only tools that are required to do this installation is a power drill with a 3/32 drill bit, a Phillips screwdriver, and a 1/16 Allen wrench. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is we want to grab the buffer tube cover adapter, slide it on the faux buffer tube with the arm facing the rear. And then we want to slide our buffer tube cover on there and push it all the way up to the front until it makes contact with the front of the lower receiver. The next step is to take the 3/32 drill, and using the hole in the adapter as a guide, you want to drill a hole halfway through on each hole on each side to keep them as straight as possible. You can eyeball, try to keep that hole about as close to 90 degrees as you can possibly get in both directions. As you can see, we want to make it as straight a hole as possible, but it doesn't really need to be super perfect. Once all the holes are drilled, the next step is to take your screws one at a time, put them in the holes, and the plastic is soft enough that if you push down on the screw just a little bit, it will bite into the plastic and begin to form its own threads. So take each screw, push it into its position, tighten each one a little bit, but once it's started and you have all 4 of them in there, just go ahead and cinch them down till they stop. Don't over tighten them, just tighten them down until they stop. Maybe give them a little extra tweak beyond that, but that's really about all that it needs. Alright, there you go. Your buffer tube cover is installed, nice and clean. Alright, the next step is to install the stock. So what we need to do here is we're going to take our little wedge and press it in this cavity right here on this little, we call this the shark fin. Press it into that little shark fin cavity there. Should be a nice tight fit. The next thing we need to do is we need to go ahead and reassemble all of our internal parts. So depending on which side of the lower receiver you want your safety on, you can either put it on the right or the left side. I'm just going to put it back the standard way. Pop the safety in there. Pop your takedown pin back in. I like to lay the lower receiver on its side when I do this. Take your safety detent spring, put it in the hole in the stock. Take your safety detent, drop it back in its hole. Take the detent pin for your takedown and drop it back in its hole. Follow that by its spring. Then in the same reverse order, or in the reverse order that you disassembled it, you want to push these two together straight up this way. You don't want to go at an angle or any other way. You just want to go straight up to save your springs. And the last step is to install your mounting screw. You want to tighten it up until it's good and snug, till all the gaps are sucked in, or basically until you can't turn the screw anymore. You don't want to super tighten it. You just want it to be right on there. When you see a nice parallel line here and nice clean smooth lines here, you can't jiggle or rock, you're ready to go. Give your safety a test. Give your takedown pin a test. Make sure everything is working. Throw your upper back on it and take it out to the range and have some fun.